All right, folks, a little bit different video today. I'm going to be taking a look back at a reaction video I did 3 years ago when I first started making reaction videos. And this video is no longer available on YouTube, and I'll explain why in just a minute. This is the first time I heard a cappella group Home Free. And since this time, I have done over 100 reactions to Home Free. And right now, I'm actually waiting for them to finish releasing all the videos to their new sea shanty album, because I want to sit down and I want to do reaction to all of their sea shanty videos. Before we get into this video, be sure to check out my new album, The Social Distance. This is an Americana album in the country folk rock range. It hit the top 20 of the iTunes US singer-songwriter chart. The lead single and video, Outlive My Life, has gotten 3 nominations at the Josie Music Awards in Nashville, be held at the Grand Ole Opry in a couple of weeks. I've got a new video coming out on this. I think it's the best album that I've done. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, please go check that out wherever you get your music.
So keep drinking your whiskey, 'cause this song ain't for me.
Okay, so the first time that I heard Home Free, backstory here, I had just started making reaction videos and they were catching on pretty quickly. The channel was growing really fast, and the artist that kept being suggested that you got to check out is Home Free. They're an a cappella group. They're country. They're great. And I'm not a huge modern country fan. I like a lot of the classic country western stuff in the 50s and 60s. I grew up on that. But I do really like a cappella. And I had watched previous seasons of the sing-off, but for some reason I didn't even know they did a season 4. It was apparently terribly marketed, so I missed the season that Home Free was on, so I never heard of these guys. But they were highly suggested. Sounded like something that I might like, so I went to the Home Free channel, and they had just released a cover of the Everly Brothers' When Will I Be Loved? This is a song that I grew up with, a big part of my childhood. Love the Everly Brothers, love this song, and I thought, well, this is going to be perfect. Let me check these guys out. Unbeknownst to me, the version that they were basing their arrangement on was apparently a Linda Ronstadt cover that I never heard. So whenever I'm listening to this, I'm expecting them to kind of do Everly Brothers, and they really weren't doing that. And I was a little disappointed in that. And also, this song, after now having heard a lot of Home Free songs, this is clearly a song that wasn't meant to be like one of their big songs. Like some of their other stuff, I think about When a Man Loves a Woman, which is one I finally just checked out recently. Like, that was clearly meant to be a big song. When Will I Be Loved was not really meant to be a big and have really big moments like some of these other songs, some of the other arrangements. And basically, how I felt about the song, what I said about the video was, they did a great job. It was really good. I wasn't really feeling it personally, not my cup of tea. Okay, so that time when I was making those videos, I was new to YouTube. I was scared to death of getting a copyright strike. And there ended up being a copyright issue with that video, not from Home Free. And I've done videos explaining how all this works on YouTube, how many different pieces, different players there are in the copyright realm. There's a third-party copyright manager involved that just kind of slaps automatically, or YouTube really slaps automatically copyright claims on videos. And you have to go through dispute processes and whatever. Well, at the time, I didn't know how that worked. I was scared to death about getting a copyright strike. So I ended up taking the video down or setting it to private, so there wouldn't be any kind of copyright issues moving forward. Well, eventually, after I realized, like, oh, okay, no, you can dispute this, you can appeal if your dispute's rejected, and everything's usually fine, I did that, and I got all the copyright issues cleared. But I decided not to put the video back up because I was getting lambasted in the comments, and the video was getting a lot of dislikes because I was not over the moon about the song. And I say it was getting lambasted relatively because usually our reaction videos, particularly with the acapella stuff, it's like 99 to 100% like-dislike ratio, and this was not that. And no matter how many home free reactions I did where I was just blown away by them and said, yeah, this is fantastic, it's phenomenal, it's great. And I'm talking about like the List of Music cover or their Patsy Cline Crazy cover, all their Christmas stuff that I got into that year. No matter how many of those I released, it was this first video, this first reaction that kept getting pushed out, that people kept seeing, and that people kept disliking and get mad at me in the comments because I wasn't over the moon about the song. I wasn't blown away about the song. And that wasn't something they were used to hearing from reactors. And it was starting to not only was it hurting that video, it was kind of hurting the channel. So I decided not to put the video back up. Well, now I had this idea while I've kind of got some time here where I'm kind of pressed for time, I should say here, where I can't produce as many reaction videos as I would like to do. And I'm also waiting for Home Free to get all their stuff out and trying to make some time where when they get all that stuff out, I can sit down and watch their sea shanty stuff. I thought this would be a good time to get the original reaction, my first time hearing Home Free, back up on YouTube, but with an explainer at the beginning, giving the backstory on this, explaining where I was, why I picked the song, and why it was taken off of YouTube before we get to the reaction. And this has been a little bit edited from the original version. I remastered the sound, which I think sounds better than what the original video was. And I also recut the video so there won't be so many stops, because at the time, again, I was scared to death of copyright strikes. So I was literally stopping the video like every 30 to 45 seconds, and it really breaks the flow. I realize now you don't have to do that. So it's been recut. I don't think I edited anything out of my commentary, but it's just the video has just been recut, so we got a little bit better flow here. And be sure to stay through to the end, because I'm going to come back and I'm going to kind of give a reassessment of where I stand with the song 3 years later. Without further ado, here is the first time I heard Home Free. This is their cover of the Everly Brothers' When Will I Be Loved.
I've been cheated, been mistreated. When will I be loved? I've been put down, I've been pushed round. When will I be loved? When will I be loved? When I find a new girl that I want for mine, she always breaks my heart in two. It happens every time.
All right, so I know nothing about Home Free, knew nothing before watching this other than that they lean country. Didn't realize how country they were going to be leaning. They were extremely, very modern country, got a lot of twang. I'm not personally a huge fan of the twang, which is why I like a lot of some of the classic country western artists like the Everly Brothers that aren't really that twangy. I mean, yeah, they got some twang, but there's not a lot of nasal. I've talked before about my dislike of nasal sound. But that all being said, they're doing a really great job. I like the arrangement. Of course, I'm always impressed with a complete a cappella only group where you've got somebody doing the bass and somebody doing the percussion with just their mouth. And they've got a good arrangement. They've beefed it up a little bit. They've modernized it. And yeah, it's not bad. Also, the video with the dog, pairing that with the lyrics, that's really funny. It's funny and clever. I like that.
I've been made blue, I've been lied to. When will I be loved? I'm gonna love somebody, love somebody who
Like that breakdown.
somebody, someone to love me. Gonna love somebody, love somebody like you. I'm gonna love somebody, love somebody who loves somebody, someone to love me. Gonna love somebody, but when will I be loved? When will I be loved? When I find a brand new girl that I want for mine, she always.
All right, now who are they using for the kick drum sound there? Does that sound like an actual drum, or is that somebody making that sound themselves, or are they using some kind of kick drum or some type of synth instrument there? Let me know. It reminds me of I Love a Rainy Night. That's they've taken the Everly Brothers' When Will I Be Loved and done an a cappella I Love a Rainy Night version of it, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's actually really fun and upbeat and joyful, so that's cool.
Breaks my heart in two. It happens every time. I've been cheated, been mistreated. When will I be loved? I've been put down. I've been pushed round. When will I be loved? When will I be loved? When will I be loved? When will I tell me? When will I be loved?
Yeah. All right, yeah. So there's a very modern country sound to it, which is not really my forte, my cup of tea, I should say. But it was well done. I'm always impressed with the a cappella groups that have these amazing harmonies with amazing arrangements. I like what they did with the song. I think taking that classic 50s country folk rock thing that the Everly Brothers had and updating it and turned into, like I said, an I Love a Rainy Night type. That was really well done. If you got any other home free suggestions, drop them in the comments and I will check them out. Okay, so how do I feel about the song now? After having heard Home Free again over 100, probably close to 125, I did a quick search on the back end of my channel to see how many times Home Free came up in the search bar. It was 127 times. Not all of those are reactions, because I would do some answer and comment videos where Home Free was in the title because I was answering comments on Home Free videos, but we're getting close there. We're probably like 110, Home Free reactions. Going back and listening to it now, 3 years later, after having gone through so much of Home Free's catalog, gotten to know the guys, gotten to know their style, gotten to know their arranging sensibilities, and also now knowing and understanding where they were with that song, I liked it a lot better. I thought it was fantastic. As a matter of fact, if I had listened to, I mentioned earlier, listened to the music, Crazy, Mayday, again, a bunch of their Christmas stuff, if I had listened to, say, 10 of those songs first and then checked out When Will I Be Loved, I would have had an entirely different reaction because I'd already gotten a feel for what they were doing, and I think I would have been much more impressed and much more blown away than I was in the original video. And particularly, I said in the reaction, I love the breakdown, the love somebody, love somebody. If I don't know why, like, I'm blown away by that now more than I was then. And I'm not sure exactly why. Like, that was phenomenal. I feel like if I'd have been listening to this song now after having heard all the Home Free I've heard, when they got that part, I'd be like, oh man, yeah, that was great. That was great. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed that look back at the first time that I heard Home Free. And we've still got some, again, I've got some that I've recorded, I hadn't released yet, that'll be coming out over the next few weeks. And then whenever their Sea Shanty album comes out, I hope I've got my schedule clear where I can sit down and binge all those, get that up. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do that. Stick around, and we will see you soon.
I never give up on my hopes and my dreams, but my mind and my body's about to give up on me. This ain't what I want and sure not what I needed. So keep drinking your whiskey. here, 'cause this song ain't for